Hello, this is Melo and welcome to patch 13.3 rundown for TFT. In case you don't know me, I'm a guy who reached Masters pretty much every season since season 8, I believe. So yeah, I'm quite decent at the game, I would say. This is why you should probably listen to what I have to say about the patch notes and how I think this will influence the meta and how you should probably play this patch to gain LP. Yeah, the patch is small, they said. I think that's what Mordok said, and the next patch is going to be bigger. But for now, we have some interesting changes which we can look after because it's definitely going to shift the meta. Systems. We're making a few quality of life improvements to opening encounter and stage 3 carousel. What they're talking about is that the opening encounter will now be shorter. We're gonna get into our games faster. We already know what the encounters are and all that jazz. So yeah, and the stage 3 carousel will now contain one of each component. It's a quality of life change. It kind of sucks when you're seeing the stage 3 carousel, your first pick, and it's not the component you want. The component you need is not there. So yeah, I think that's why they're doing it. I'm just gonna summarize some of them for you, just because I know the patch from ahead. Yeah, large changes. Okay, the traits. There we go. There we go. Obviously, Chem-baron, a lot of nerfs. I don't think we're gonna go through all of them. We're gonna go through what I think is bigger. But first of all, we have artillerist, which Artillery 6, I don't really see Artillery 6. Like, unless we are on Trainer Golems, unless I'm playing on Trainer Golems, I don't really see Artillery 6. It's kind of hard to reach. I know it's a buildable emblem, but yeah, it's a lot of backline. Like, when you have a lot of backline, like 6 Sniper, 6 Artillerists, and all that jazz, it's kind of hard to make it work in a viable way, because you're just stacking too much stuff in the backline, and then your front line kind of gets evaporated. So they're trying to make this good. They reduced the attacks per proc from 4 to 3, which might actually make the difference. Automata, we all know Automata was and still probably is kind of broken. They reduced the armor and MR for the 4-piece from 60 to 55, and for 6-piece from 140 to 100. And they only up the damage at the 6-piece by 100, which is an overall nerf, but I think Automata will still be played for what it's played, like 2 and 4. You know, it will still be obnoxious early game, but hey, it's no big deal. It's really no big deal. I expect, though, like 6 Automata Malzahar to be a higher cap than it was. So I think there is the actual change. Chem-baron 400 cash out, value reduced by 8% gold value lower from 70 gold to 65 gold. You're not really gonna feel this. The bigger change is at 500 cash out, where they reduced it by 15%. Now this is not an instant win anymore. Like in this patch, in the 13.2 or like 12 point, I don't know how they used to call it. This was just an instant. The 500 cash out was just like, yeah, you go first. But now, you know, you kind of have to work for your meal. Reduce the gold value from 105 to 90. And yeah, they also nerfed all the chem. I mean, not all. They said, I believe it's like every Chem-baron item but one. I'm not gonna go through all of this. It's a lot of text. You can search the patch for yourself if you want to look it into really closely, but I don't think it's that relevant. Just read it when you cash out. It's fine. Scrap shield. They up the scrap shield by 4 seconds. This is so the backlines also benefit from the scrap shield. Usually, like 20 seconds into the fight, the scrap shield is just gone, and the fight is sometimes not over, because like the scrap shield is a lot. It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of shield to chew through. Especially when you're playing 4 or 6 scrap. The 2 scrap doesn't really matter. You're not playing 2 scrap for the shield, so yeah. The 9 scrap piece shield per component went from 60 to 65. That's really good. I never got 9 scrap so far, but I hope I will. And then I'll be able to test if this is relevant or not. Only a 5 buff for one of those chase traits. I don't know if it's a like prismatic trait, but definitely you wanna. It's hard to get 9 scrap. Sorcerer AP. I don't think this will make Sorcerer viable. Mort also said this will not make Sorcerer viable. I don't think I played a single game of Sorcerer this whole entire set so far. It's just not for me. I had two front lines and one of them is Swain. I'll pass on that. You can play it, it's fun, but just like don't overuse it, don't overforce it because it's not that good, honestly. 1 cost units. Powder ability, fall of damage from 30, 30, 25 to 25, 25, 20. Okay, so just for 1 and 2 stars. I don't think this will make Powder insane, but definitely better early game. Singed ability damage reduction. Singed was a menace, and I guess it will still be good, but only in certain spots. They really nerfed the 4-star version. They weren't really happy with the 4-star having 60% durability out of nowhere, which I get it. The Renata was kind of oppressive, and it was because of Singe, not because of Renata. Step mana buff, 30 out of 90 to 25 out of 75. This will also affect the step carry augment, in case you didn't know. I think it's called Combat Medic. So yeah, it's a good buff, and also think Steb was one of the weakest tanks early game. I think Amumu was kind of good and still is kind of good. And yeah, Trundle as well, a mana buff. This will also help the Trundle carry augment. 30 out of 90 to 30 out of 80. Having 10 mana reduced is gonna help out a lot if you wanna put the items on Trundle early game. Zara primary ability damage. Zara is not really seeing that much light. Nobody really rerolls Zara. I know she has like a spot, but she never stepped into the meta. Like it's not a playable tier, you know, of a comp. 260, 30, 390, 585 to 280, 420, 630. You might see the difference here. Like you might see the difference at 3-star, but honestly, 1 and 2-star unnoticeable. Actually unnoticeable. Like maybe 2-star, but 1-star is just it doesn't do anything. 2 cost units. Camille ability damage AD 230 to 30 to 60, 245 to 45 to 65. This is to make Camille at 1 and 2-star not be so useless within the Enforcer comp. I get it. They don't want to bring the scary Camille from the first patch back, even though I don't think she's coming. Like they nerfed a lot of stuff around what made that comp really good, which is, I don't know, Hodge. They nerfed a lot of Hodge. They nerfed a lot of stuff. So I think she's not coming back. No reason to get scared. It's only a 5%. I mean, it's not a 5% buff. It's a 5% AD buff, but it is not 5% of the whole value. You get it. Leona mana 50 under 90 to 30 out of 75. I like that they're buffing Leona. Leona is kind of weak right now. Renata ability damage shield. Huh. I mean, this is a small nerf on the shield, but I mean it's deserved. Like Renata has been very oppressive the past patch, and honestly, it's time to let it go. It's time to like the Singe nerf plus days should be enough. ZERI AD. Now this is an interesting change because ZERI is a champion that they buffed, I believe, 3 times in a row. So now she should hit like a truck, and you also have to account for the fact that you're just stacking Ginsus on her. That's her primary build. So now, while if you would have stacked something like IE, Deathblade, and like I don't know, Giant Slayer, maybe 380 wouldn't have been that big of a deal because you're getting 80 from the other items. But since your primary damage build is attack speed, 380 is a lot. And I think ZERI might finally step into the meta, like ZERI Cog maybe, I'm not sure. But we'll see. Zig Splash bomb damage reduced. Ziggs was very strong. Ziggs was, and honestly, from me knowing the patch, will probably be stronger than Cassio. Cassio is just trash. Worse, or overall worse dominator than Ziggs. 3 costs. Cassio attack speed from 0.7 to 0.75. Now, don't sleep on this. Is a big buff. Usually the 0.5 attack speed buffs are huge. And honestly, like, if you put items on Cassiopeia, she wasn't even that bad. But in case you had a Ziggs 1 against the Cassio 1, you'd want the items on Ziggs. If you had Ziggs 2 and a Cassio 2, you'd want the items on Ziggs. It was just, the disparity was too much. I think this will probably make Cassio a bit better than Ziggs. But then again, we'll have to see. The mana nerf doesn't really matter. It's one auto attack. Gangplank melee ability heal. Now, here is what I want to talk about for a bit. Gangplank is this champion where if you find him early game, you're like the happiest human alive. Just because he's a great backline. He fits in like everything. He is Pitfigher, he's scrap, he can fit into, like, if you find a Swain and a Gangplank, you have like a guaranteed win streak, or at least a very, very strong board. And now that they're buffing the melee Gangplank, it actually means that you don't even need him to stay in the backline to deal damage. You can actually just pop it in the front line with like tank items or like bruiser items. And it's gonna be insane. The heal went from 100 to 125, 150 to 120, 140, 160. So yeah, primarily the 1-star is really interesting for the early game. Gangplank melee ability, AD. Don't really care that much about AD. The thing is, you don't really want to put that much AD on the melee Gangplank. You mostly want him like a bruiser or a tank. So this maybe like you put a Sterax on him and it actually makes a difference, but this might actually go unnoticeable. Loris ability shield, they buff Loris. I love that. Loris is kind of trash for a 3 cost. He needs to be the tank, the overall tank for enforcers, which he is not at the moment. 525, 600, 700 to 600, 700, 800. I mean, I would have liked to select a 825, 850 here. I think that would have been justice for Loris. He didn't really get any justice in Arcane, to be honest. Smeech mana buff. 20 out of 80 to 20 out of 70. This is a small Smeech buff, but Smeech is on the verge of being good just because he's annoying. He jumps in on your backline, one-shots your carry. Like, if he one-shots your carry once in like 3 fights, he's already worth. Like, he's already worth. I don't know what... Yeah, he might win one of the other 2 fights and then you're just top 4ing guaranteed. So I think they're stepping lightly with Smeech just because they know it's dangerous. By the way, this is the third... I want you to keep that in mind. This is the third ambusher buff. The third ambusher that gets buffed this patch. It was Smeech, what is called Camille, and Powder. And you're gonna see, after we go over TF, TF gets some really nice buffs. I'm not gonna go over them. I think TF just is unused just because he's always better as a secondary carry. Although I love TF. I think TF is one of the coolest design champions, one of the coolest 3 costs in this set. Yeah, what I was saying, the ambushers, Echo gets pretty sizable mana buff. 0 out of 60 to 0 out of 50, reducing mana by 10 on Echo is quite good. Echo is currently in this weird spot where you're happy if you have him, if you find him on level 5, you can put it on your board, you're happy about it, but you're never happy to see an Echo in your shop when you're level 8, unless you're rolling for whatever godforsaken comp that includes him. He's not that I want this champion on my board. He's like, just okay, I guess I'll have an Echo on my board. He might do stuff, he might not. He's decent. They wanna discombobulate this idea of Echo being decent and turning Echo into more of a carry. But for that, I would have wanted to see some damage buffs. But I don't know. We'll see if this is okay. At least range spell damage. At least range is trash. Will probably be still trash. I don't even want to go over this. This is a 10% buff. Okay, I see it. 10% here as well. but I don't think damage is I don't think damage is what's gatekeeping Elise. Elise is gatekept by the fact that she's a frontline. Her backline skill is just so bad. I feel like her backline skill is just so abysmally bad. It's just unplayable. Twitch mana buff. This is also a sizable mana buff. Now I think that Twitch will not want double Ginsus or like double Ginsus and red buff. He might just want red buff and 2 damage items, or like Ginsus and 2 damage items. So that's my honest idea. 5 cost units. Jace's Hexgate Forge no longer triggers its effect automatically when it's revived. Yes, this was a bug. I noticed it, I think, last patch. I don't know if it was since the beginning of the set, but this was so obnoxious to play against, because the melee Jace's Hextech Forge gave shield. And I was wondering, why does it always give shield? And I read his ability and I was like, that's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to give shield only if it's alive. So it used to be, and honestly, it was part of his core as a champion, being so obnoxiously strong because it was kind of bugged. But now they also increased the melee AD damage to kind of compensate for that, I believe. The melee ability AD damage went from 500 to 600, and I'm not gonna read the third one just because honestly, if it's 3-star Jace, you're probably winning, unless you're losing because he's trash. Honestly, he's like the worst 3-star 5 cost. Keep that in mind. Jace melee ability secondary AD 225 to 250, 250. That's honestly pretty good. Range Jace sees a lot of pages because he's a really good damage dealer, like a really good damage. If you find the 1-star Jace on your level 8 roll down, you just put it on your board. Like, I don't know, even instead of Corki 1, I think he's better. So yeah, LeBlanc attack speed. And now this is really interesting. Like, remember how I said the 0.5 attack speed is big? Yeah, on a 5 cost, giving her 0.5 attack speed is nuts. Also, she scales with attack speed. I don't know if you know the LeBlanc's ability, but it states as follows. After casting the ability, okay, she just summons the chains, and then the next 3 auto attacks are just bonus damage, which is a lot to buff the attack speed on. Malzahar's ability, wave damage. I don't think Malzahar is in that bad of a spot. They buffed him. They buffed the wave damage, which doesn't really do anything. The wave, you don't really care about the wave, you care about the dot. And they also buffed the dot damage, which honestly, 2 at 2-star might actually make the difference. But I have to check it. I have to see it. Malzahar has been scamming me of LP for so long. I don't know. 6 costs. Mel ability damage, 180, 450, to 200, 500. Okay. Mel's ability unleash damage, 1390 to 1600. That's a big buff. 3475 to 4000. Those are big buffs. They want Mel to be good. Well, I guess Victor was the king, as they say here, but yeah. Warwick's experiment bonus stun duration from 1 to 1.5 seconds. I'm not really seeing Warwick with experiment. The thing is, if you hit Warwick and you had experiment on your board, you're kind of winning anyway, because you get to like play him with what he wants to be played with experiment. He actually has a trait, unlike Mel and Victor. Warwick's Blood Hunter heal. Okay, the healing is not his problem. Like, if you put a BT or a Sterax on him, he's just not dying. I don't think the heal is his problem. Blood Frenzy AD, yeah, the damage. It's not really dealing that much damage. Like, if you look at the end of the fight, he dealt like 2,500 damage. And that's just because of the executes or whatever they're called when the enemies drop below 50% HP. So, yeah. Okay, augments. It's a lot of augments, yeah? Yeah, it's a lot of augments. Okay, Blade Dance, Irelia attack speed, 40 to 60. I think this was trash. I don't even know it has attack speed on it, honestly. Damify HP per stage. This is a big buff, but I don't like Damify just because, honestly, resetting my board at 3-2 never felt never felt good to me. I don't like those types of augments. It's just not my type of playstyle. Glass Cannon 1, starting HP 80 to 90, that's fine. 80 to 90. Oh, so it's only for Glass Cannon. Okay. So Glass Cannon 2 doesn't get affected. Kingslayer Gold on win from behind. 4 to 5. Okay, needed a buff. Lone Hero has been disabled. Survivor Gold granted. I like Survivor. Actually a cool augment. 70. Okay. Team Building Turn Delay. This is big for the real comps from 7 turns to 5. Trolling. They actually buffed even the goddamn the augment itself. Trolling Trundle attack speed granted from 140 to 160. That's actually sizable considering the Trundle buff. Another anomaly, item based stats. I mean, I didn't even know like it gives stats. Honestly, it's okay, but I didn't know it gives stats. It's 5 AD, 5 AP, and like 100 health. Like who cares? Arcane Retribution, Sorcerer has been disabled. This augment was just trash. Cloning Facility. I will still not take this. I took this once. I went dead last. Honestly, never taking it again. Pro Facility, Clone Mana increased. Oh, they double buffing it. Huh. Might make this viable. Like if you just like have a tank, probably you just want to turn everyone into like if you have an Ilaoi on your Sentinel board, you probably just take this and turn everyone into an Ilaoi. Then it's actually decent, but we'll see. Contest had been disabled. Yes, this was very busted. Crimson Pack Vladimir mana per auto from 3 to 5. Okay. I can see it being decent. I don't think it's viable yet. But I see it being decent. Family Crest no longer grants a violet. Okay. Forward Thinking Gold from 70 to 80. I also like this. Forward Thinking is a lot of fun. And I think it makes you so rich. And now you're just going to be richer. Glass Cannon 2 starting HP from 80% to 90%. Oh, they also buff this, okay. Golemify HP per stage from 150 to 500. Like, see, Golemify only gets 500 health. Dumbify gets 1000. That's a big difference because it's per stage. So like 2 stages pass and like the HP difference is like 2000. Or like something like that. 1.5k, I don't even know. Moonlight AP and AT bonus 25% to 35%. Honestly, Moonlight, decent. It needed a buff, but honestly decent. I took Moonlight a fair share of games, and I did okay with it. 1 for all 2 damage jump 2.5% to 2%. 1 for all 2. I'm not really playing. I haven't really picked this augment, but I didn't know it was good. Okay, let's hope they didn't over nerf this. Like I don't know. Overheal bonus damage 115 to 125. Nice. Overheal, like it's hard to take it on. If you don't have at least like 3 bruisers, it's hard to take overheal. Paint the Town Blue Rebels clone from 5 to 4. Nice. This was very obnoxious. Superstars 2 damage increase per 3-star from 5% to 4%. That's fair. Too much value. 2 costs granted from 2 to 4. So you just get like 4 2 costs, and you can level and have 2. You have 2 free rerolls every fight during the first stage. I mean, if you want to play reroll, this is the perfect augment now. It just gives you 2 free rerolls per turn, and you roll it 6, and that's it. I think. Warpath 1-star 5 cost granted from 4 to 3. Sure, Warpath completed anvils granted 1 to 2. Oh, so it actually makes you stronger. Okay. Warpath. Interesting. So they like 1-star 5 cost granted 4 to 3. Okay. An Exalted Adventure Laser Champion Duplicator now and at the start of every stage. The start of the next 3 stages. Okay, so they're nerfed an Exalted Adventure. I don't think this is an issue with an Exalted Adventure. I think the value it gives you is like 90 gold or something. 90 gold after you rerolled and like you already have your 3 stars and a viable board, a viable comp. Just give you 90 gold worth of stuff. Like you just level, or like you just, if you get support members, just pop them, put them on your board. It's all good. Artifactory has been disabled. Oh, wait. Anger issues. Okay, AD and AP per stack. That's big. That's a 50% increase in AD and AP. And you usually like put all your gains on like 1 unit or like 2 units, and they fully stack. So if you put this on something that benefits on both AD and AP, it's actually crazy. Anger issues, armor and MR per item. 50. That's a 5%, 10%, then 11%. I don't even know. Like that's a sizable buff for anger issues. It might actually be good now. I know this is trash. I just usually don't pick it. Artifactory has been disabled, as I said. Belt Overflow. I like this augment. They're buffing it. I don't know why. I think it's good. I think people just take it to like not lose. But if you take it in spots where you should take it, where you're like decently strong and you're playing for like a top 3, it actually does amazing. Bronze for life, 2 durability per trait, 1.5 to 1%. Okay, I can see it. Bronze for life 2 was kind of busted. Probably still be. I don't know if this makes a difference. Build about gold granted. I don't really personally take build about. Reason being is that, okay, let's say you get offered build about and what it's called, hedge fund. Build about gives you like 8 gold. Well, now it gives you 10 and 3-star 1 cost, which is like, I don't know, 9 gold. Yeah, 9. So it gives you like 19 gold. I think, I'm not sure. Don't call me on this. Hedge fund gives you 24 or like 18. I'm not sure. Okay, don't blast me on this. Gives you like, let's say 20 gold. Okay, with those 20 gold, if you reroll and you have like 2 or 3 2-star 1 cost, if you reroll those 20-30 gold, 20-25 gold at like after the carousel, you get like 2 3-star 1 cost. And then you still have the bonus ability of going over 60, 70, whatever gold towards more interest rate. So that is why I don't like build about it. I think it's just a stage 1 augment. And then you play towards, you play around your 3-star 1 cost, and that's kind of it. Calculated enhancement, AD, 35 to 40%. Okay, calculated enhancement, AP from 40 to 50%. This is the prismatic augment that gives you a lot of stats. Now it gives you even more stats. It's kind of bonkers. I didn't really take this because I'm finding it hard to play 4 backliners. Usually. Dark Alley Dealings has been disabled. Sure, I don't know. The trench coat, I think, is problematic for the game. Expected unexpectedness stage 2 low roll. 7 rolls to 10 rolls. Okay, expected unexpectedness. So okay, they're buffing the low luck. They're buffing the low luck. Oh no, there's a low roll, mid roll, 2-4 cost, 3-4 cost. Okay, and stage 4, 2-5 cost, 3-5 cost. So a mid roll now gives you more than duo Q. Duo hero, like what it's called. I don't know. I don't think it's duo Q. Maybe it's duo Q actually. Wait, but duo Q also gives you 2 random components, so it's still worse. Okay. Family Crown no longer grants a Violet or a Vander. Flurry of Blows, bonus critical strike chance to 35 to 45. I think this was also decent. You just don't really want it because nobody really wants a crit chance from the 4 cost backliners. I mean, Twitch, I guess. Corky, I guess. But like if they're not crying if they don't have critical strike chance, crit chance. I don't know. Ghost of the unit, Ghost of Units Past. Okay, HP per stack from 5 to 6, and the AD per stack went from 0.8 to 1. I just got an abysmal top 2 recently with this augment. I think it's busted. You just have to know like what you're playing. Like in that game, I played Emissary Flex with Corky, and I just went for stacking AD and HP, which are now getting buffed. And I actually did amazingly well, just because my whole team had like 50 AD and 500 health bonus just from this at the end of the game. Subscription service, gold granted from 6 to 8. Okay. Is this deserved? Like, okay, I get it. So you get subscription service and you're forced to buy 4 costs and you're broke the whole game. But you know, like, if you're buffing it, just make it 10 or like something. If you think it's that bad, if it performs that bad, actually just make it 10. Don't give it 2 gold. Like, 2 gold is not a lot, guys. It's not a lot. If this is a deserved buff, which honestly I don't think so, they just beat the crap out of me with 3-4 costs at level 1. I mean at stage 1. If this is a deserved buff, it needed more. I don't know. Sword overflow, attack speed per sword, 2.5% to 3%. That's fine. Trade Genesis Echo Clone damage now deals 50% damage instead of 33. Yeah, Genesis didn't really work that well. Void Swarm, I hate this augment. Void Swarm turn delay to 10, so you might can you even get 3? So you get 1 at the start and then 1 in 3 rounds and then have to reach like stage 7 or something. So you might get 3. You might get 3 void thingies. Maybe. Wand overflow attack speed per rod. 2.5 to 4%. Sizable. So that's almost a 100% increase. That's like 66% increase. That's huge. Items. Some items could item a bit harder. I agree. Death Bay damage jump 2%. Probably good. Probably needed. Even shout bonus armor MR duration from 10 to 15 seconds. Yeah, even shout was in a questionable spot. Like, you usually want last whisper, you don't want even shout. Even shout is just like, oh, I didn't find last whisper. It's just like, yeah, it's a bit of a joke. It's supposed to be a tank item. Now I think it might be good. 5 seconds is a lot. Ionic Spark health from 100 to 150. I don't think it's needed. You just don't put Ionic Spark on your tank usually. And you just put it on like secondary tank, and when like if it dies, okay, I no longer have Magic Pen, but it's fine. Like, I had it for the whole fight almost. Runan's Hurricane, bowl damage increased from 55 to 60. I don't know if this is affecting category 5. I'm not sure. It's like 85% of the bonus damage overall, or like does the additional bowl deal 85% damage of what used to be? I'm gonna have to clarify on this. Artifacts, okay. Fish bones, thank God. They actually up the attack speed, so they make it more of an attack speed thingy, so you can like one-shot the backline, but not one-shot it that hard. Gambler's Blade base attack speed from 45% to 35% attack speed. I don't think this was an issue. Like, Gambler's Blade was fine. Rapid Fire Cannon attack speed from 75 to 66. Honestly, like, what are you using the whole 75%? Well, I guess so, because then you just don't put any other attack speed items on the unit that possesses Fire Cannon. But this now makes it a bad artifact, in my opinion, because not only is like very, very niche, like you can put it on Mordekaiser, you can put it on Nocturne for the Blender comp, but there aren't many others. There aren't many, like, honestly. Like, think about forecast. Vi, no, she wants to be in front to stun everyone with her ability. Ambessa, no, she wants to be in the middle of it to cleave everyone. I don't know. Silvermere Dawn, Armor MR went from 60 to 50. Not that big of a deal. Silvermere Dawn will always be useful. That's the thing. The Silvermere Dawn is fine. Special Stretch Code, break apart point from 50 to 66. They made it, I believe, over the Edge of Night and also above Sterax, so it doesn't interact weirdly with them. The Special Strange Code, Clone HP, 35% to 25. Okay, so they're nerfing that as well. honestly, okay, suspicious stretch code has been obnoxious for a very, very long time. Collector AD, 30% to 25% down. This is hurting a bit the Tristana reroll because Tristana loves Collector and loves AD. So, like, yeah, this Tristana nerf. Anomalies, Arcana Overwhelming. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna go over these. Like, you can pause and read them if you want, but I'm quite sure many of you don't know them by names. But let's just gonna go quickly over through what I think is important. Arcana Overwhelming, honestly, I don't even know. Like, it's fine. It's a buff. It used to be trash. Avalanche of Armor granted, nobody cares. Berserker Rage HP threshold, nobody cares. Center of the Universe star damage, 75 to 85. I don't think it's sizable. Like, if this was bad, it needed a better buff. Energy Absorption, nobody cares. Defense Expert Armor or MR gained, nobody cares. Laser Eyes, finally a fun one. Laser Eyes AP damage from 100 to 133. So I actually put it on like an AP tank. Yeah. Mini Me's, I took this a couple of times, kind of trash. I'm glad they buffed it. Nothing wasted, mana gained. Yeah, I'm glad they nerfed nothing wasted. But this was the most busted anomaly in the game since the release. I don't even know, like, is how it went so long without a nerf. If you just put it on like something that needs to cast, like a Jinx, like a Mordekaiser, like a not a Mordekaiser, like a Silco, like a, I don't know, like if you just put it on an Elise frontline which just permanent stuns you. Like, have you ever fought an Elise with this? It's not fun. Repulsor attack speed, nobody cares. 5% attack speed is shit. Slime time, AP ratio, nobody cares. Ultimate hero turns to upgrade. Okay, this is the 4-star one cost, which everybody loves. Now you get it after 4 turns. You have to wait a lot for it, actually. Now I think people will just like refuse this, but like, just give me the thing now. I don't want to lose 50 more HP. Wolf families AD, 50% to 65. That's sizable. That's sizable. Small changes, clarification and bug fixes and artworks. We don't really care about that. My name is Melo. Thanks a lot for sitting with me through this very, very long patch for a short patch, honestly. I think this is like 38 minutes or something. Subscribe if you're enjoying this type of content, or if you want to see more rundowns from me. Thanks a lot for joining. Thanks a lot for watching. And I'll see you next one. As always, goodbye.